Hey, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to make a game. Why? Because making games is awesome. So what I was doing, I was in ChatGPT, I was talking to a friend. We had an idea of a game we want to make, something that can go viral, something that people can laugh about and have a good time, and that's fun to make. But it's really difficult to make actual high quality games that you can put on the Steam App Store, you can put on mobile app stores or Google Play, that you can put on Unreal, right? I mean, these games can be expensive and time consuming. And so the best thing that you can do when you have an idea is to say, can I test this? Can I make a prototype? Can I try it? Can I get my hands on it? Can I get a look at it? What is the minimum viable effort I can put into this to see if this is fun, if this is exciting, and if people will play it? So let's get into it. All right, guys, so what I did here, I did a little homework when I came in, before I came into this, and you'll see on the left-hand side, I've got ChatGPT up. I'm going to scroll all the way to the top so you can see I literally did like a voice memo into ChatGPT and said, hey, here's this game design that we want to explore. It's like a homage to the original Oregon Trail. We want to see if we can create kind of this space vibe, silly, tongue-in-cheek kind of Oregon Trail in space. And so I started going back and forth with GPT and said, I want to create a design document. I want really simple technical analysis of how we can do this. You can see it's recommending HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Here's the visual style. I gave it an idea for what we want it to look like visually. But I also mentioned, and this is very important, I mentioned I don't want to add a bunch of images, which means I do know Photoshop. I can go to, say, the Steam store or like a Unity asset store, or I can kind of manipulate 3D objects. I can create objects in 2D in Photoshop, but I don't want to do all that. I don't want to pay an artist right now. I just want to do the minimum effort to see if this is fun, if this is exciting. So that's what we're doing. And make sure you mention that to the AI, okay? So it gave me this output. Hey, this is kind of, some of the voice style. This is kind of the style of the game, that, the tongue in cheek, as I mentioned, the silliness, the meme like of it. And then I said, okay, after it did this output, I continued to go deeper. I looked at what it said and I answered some of the questions, and I said, no, let's go down this rabbit hole. So you really just got to go back and forth with these AIs, okay? You got to really figure out exactly what it is that you want and try to fill the gaps that are not there. And in the end, it'll give you something like, this is the output kind of the document that we need. It's in this kind of long canvas, so you can just copy it. And when you look at that, make sure you say, hey, give me all of the details beforehand, because sometimes it'll just give you like this little document that has only a few technical details, because it's assuming, GPT at least, GPT is assuming it has the context, and it's going to go back and reference its own context. But if you're going to put it into something like Replit because you want to build a prototype really fast, you could communicate in Replit from the beginning. But I don't want it to start building yet. So that's why I do this in GPT. I get ideas out, I refine them, and then I say, okay, GPT, spit all of that information out for me. I'm going to take that into Replit and I'm going to build something. So that's where this video starts, is I'm going to show you how to do that. Imagine you already have the idea. You've already been massaging it a little bit and kind of understanding where you want to go, and refining those details and making sure that you can get that prototype going. And then you just jump directly into Replit. And look, it's already here. It's already asking you what you want to make. This is the agent. So let's describe here. I want to create an MVP prototype with minimum viable effort. I don't want to add my own images. I do want to add some audio, so leave placeholders for that. But the core goal for me is to have a solid game loop that I can test and see if it's fun. That is the goal here. You can spend hours upon hours, days even, jumping in, tweaking things and adding art and making things look pretty. But if the game isn't fun, if like you can't make a game fun with pixels, right? With shapes and colors that are programmatic, then the game is probably not going to be more fun when you add a really pretty character or a really pretty background. So I would encourage you to just be as minimal as possible. So let's do this. This is probably going to take some time. If you have questions before getting started, feel free to ask so I can clarify anything. The goal is to play the game from the browser and see if it's fun. All right. So as I mentioned, this may take, I don't know, 10 minutes for it to create this. And if it does, we'll fast forward, we'll zoom through it so that way you don't have to wait for that. But you can see immediately that it's already going to go into these ideas. It's going to look at the document that I got from GPT here on the left, and it's going to say, okay, let's start figuring out how we're going to build this. So let's look at this. Based on your design document, I can see you want to create Orion's Happy Trail. So the idea for this game is the Oregon Trail vibe, right? But putting it in space. So let's look at what it says for this initial version. I love that it has a comprehensive plan, that it makes sure we're on the right page for this first, okay? A space-themed 2D browser game inspired by Oregon Trail. Yes. Simple battles, canvas rendered graphics built with JavaScript. Perfect. Complete game loop, title, voyage, battle. Yes, absolutely. Interactive A/B decision system. Yes. Simple battle minigame. Death scene with poetic messages and retry functionality. Canvas-based animations. Yes, really simple animations. So I hope it doesn't go too far there. Audio system with background music. I can go find music and replace it in Replit pretty easily. I'll show you if we get to that point. Typewriter effect for narrative storytelling. That's, again, homage to Oregon Trail, right? State management system and handling all game transitions, of course. Later, we can add more complex battles. Yes, implement inventory resource, of course, create multiple story paths, add visual effects. Okay, perfect. So I love that it's saying we'll do some of these other items later, because we don't need special effects for it to be fun. I mean, yeah, that would be nice, but it could get caught up in making all these special effects that I don't want it to do. So I'm going to approve that plan, and let's sit here and see how long this takes. This is probably where I will fast forward and just continue reading to see if this does what we want. All right, so I'm exploring the app here. This is really cool. You can start to see what it's building in real time, right? So let's see, we gave it all of the details. I went in and noticed that some of the story that I wanted to add, some of these questions that are kind of silly questions that users will be prompted with, just like Oregon Trail, some of those questions were not in my original design doc. You can see here, I did have the core game loop. It had some scenes and state management. And it had, death scenes, technical stack, file structure, visual style, but it didn't have those stories. So I went in to the agent here on Replit and I said, hey, here's some questions that you can ask the user. So that way you can use those to reference them. But then I started opening this, we have the client here. You can see it's already created a few scenes. It's got a title screen. This is just the HTML, so this is unstylized, right? It's got the voyage screen, battle screen, death screen, and then it has these placeholder audio elements, which I did want it to do because it's pretty easy if you go to somewhere like Unsplash. I can actually show you that now. Unsplash, audio. Actually, it's not Unsplash. It's, let's do free audio, background music. Pixabay, that's what it was. Okay, so Pixabay has a lot of really nice tracks that you can use, And you can go in here and say like space, um, space music background. I mean, whatever you want. You could say retro vibe, whatever. And if I play some of this, we'll see. So it just has some fun. Let's do like a fun, retro, silly. Maybe we can even find something. I mean, that's a little too silly. I don't know. Let's try this one. Traditional jazz. Maybe this retro. I don't know. Some of these are pretty cool. It takes a minute to load on some. I don't know if that's the right space vibe, but anyways, I will go in here later and try to find the right music. This is great. You know, all they ask is that you let them know who the creator was if you use some of this music in most cases. But let's go back. Oh my goodness, we already have something. I didn't expect this to happen this fast. Check this out, guys. So it is kind of highlighted. Let me refresh because I resized the browser here and probably jacked it up. So let me refresh and see if it fixes the stars in the background. Hopefully it doesn't break. But I'm stunned, actually. I'm going to close this side panel. It's pretty cool. Now it's got this little Orion star here, you know, like, I don't know. Let's see what it does. I love the colors. Orion's Happy Trail, a cosmic adventure across belly button space. Love it. Love it already. Here's the moment of truth. Okay, interesting. Your ship drifts through the cosmic void near Orion's belt. 3 glowing space churros float past your viewport. What do you do? This is interesting. I love that it's moving. I mean, oh my goodness. This ship, obviously, this is not great. Like, it should really be bigger. It should be like floating on the actual waves of the ocean. I would love to have like a bigger planet in the background, really stylized. But hey, this is prototype, right? This is like, is this even fun? Is it silly? Is it exciting? So let's see. Your ship drifts through the cosmic void near Orion's belt. 3 glowing space churros float past. What do you do? Attempt to catch them with your space net. Ignore them and continue. Well, we have to catch the space churros, right? When would you ever see anything in space float by you? Never. Let's do it. You got tangled in your own space net and floated into a cosmic donut hole. So we died immediately. That's amazing. Okay, so main menu. Let's start another voyage. Your ship drifts through the cosmic void near Orion's belt. 3 glowing space churros float past your view. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. But maybe this is like you need to take path A, B, and you're kind of going down this path. I'm going to ignore them and continue sailing. All right, another question. Your cautious approach pays off. You discover a floating space library made entirely of crystallized moonbeams. The librarian is a sentient asteroid with reading glasses. Ask the asteroid for navigational advice. Check out a book about space sailing. Well, we obviously want navigational advice. Let's see what happens. The wise asteroid tells you about a shortcut through the giggly galaxy, where everything is 23% more amusing. It warns that laughter is mandatory. Ignore. I would love to go through the giggly galaxy, right? Oh my goodness, so we're fighting. Press space to make your minions jump, land on red enemies to destroy them. Okay, I don't know how to move though. Can I click them? So I don't think there are any movements. Okay, this is interesting. But this is great. We have a game. I'm smiling a little bit, right? It's kind of fun. Something is working here. So what next? Let's take a look at the output here. It says, the game is successfully loading, all systems initialized. I can see from the logs that the story loads with 7 prompts. Audio manager initialized, canvas render working, game state management active, all event listeners set up. I agree. This looks like it's working. It's fully functional. Click start. Okay, so now I'm going to give it feedback. Okay, this looks amazing. I would increase the size of the ship so it's larger on screen. Maybe taking up 70% of the screen so we can add fun objects to it later. I would also come up with additional, storyline for the user to interact with. And I would make it non-deterministic. What does that mean? Right now, it seems like the whole flow is determined from the very beginning, right? It's either yes or no. If you say yes, it does this. If you say no, it does something else. What I mean is make some of the initial choices random, so it's not always the same experience. Also, when playing the mini game with minions, I couldn't move them. I could only jump. Let's make sure we can move around and jump on top of the other minions to explode them. I think that's enough. That's enough. Okay. So we gave it like 3 or 4 different things to change. And I think a lot of these little changes will let us know if this game is going to be fun, if we'll continue playing in this loop, right? Now we still have a lot to do. We could add audio. Let me show you that while it's kind of doing this. So let's find something that we like. I mean, I did kind of. Let's do silly space music. That's probably what we need. Space ambient, calm, space, let's see. Comedy, horror, quirky, let's see. Some of this doesn't want to load for some reason. Humorous, silly clown. If it doesn't load, I usually just go on to another one, but maybe we're having issues with the website. Let me refresh this site. Comedy, cartoon, music. Yeah, we're really struggling here with this site for some reason. Let's just do like a force refresh. Maybe something happened to this site. It's causing problems. All right, let's go back to this one. Space Galaxy. We'll just let that load, see what it does. Awesome. It looks like we got some updates already. Great feedback. I could see it's working well. Make the ship larger. Okay, remember that. Add more varied storyline. Perfect. Battle system to allow more movement. Let's see. Now let's add. Okay, it's still thinking. I thought it was finished, but it's still thinking. Man, I got music. So I knew it would come through eventually. This is that one's not quite funny enough. Maybe we just got to let it sit and play for a bit. So maybe I'll do that. And once we hear it, we'll flip back over, right? Okay, we got the purple box. This means something has changed and it's our turn to look at it. I've implemented all your requested improvements. It was 5. Ship is larger, more movement controls or movement controls in general, randomize story starts, expand story content, add more battle win messages for variety. So the battle system now supports A, D, and arrow keys. Perfect. Spacebar jump, land on red enemies to destroy them. Let's see if that actually works. Okay, let me reduce this here. Okay, that ship is actually, it's interesting, right? It's interesting zoomed in. It's kind of moving towards you instead of sideways. So that's neat though. I love the style of this. That is kind of silly music. What do you think? I'm kind of interested in that. Comedy music, horror. This silly clown background music. It doesn't feel space vibe to me, but I'm gonna download this anyway. Let's go to downloads there. Let's see. Space Galaxy Universe. Silly song for little ones. Let's see what this Dead Space one is. I'll let it roll that one out. Okay. You find a suspiciously smooth space rock shaped exactly like a coffee bean. It pulses with a mysterious energy and smells like espresso. Lick the cosmic bean for science, catalog it, and move on like a responsible explorer. We're definitely going to lick the coffee bean. And we died. It was disguised as a micro black hole. You got beamed into oblivion. The universe is now slightly more caffeinated. I love that. Super tongue-in-cheek, super silly. Let's retry. All right, so it's the same one. Let's catalog it. Your cautious approach pays off. You discover a floating space library made entirely of crystallized moonbeams. The librarian is a sentient entity. So this is the one we had the first time, right? We're going to do navigational advice, right? The wise asteroid tells you about a shortcut through the giggly galaxy. So this is where we had the encounter. So let's take the shortcut. You spot a glittering asteroid field in the distance. The rocks sparkle like cosmic diamonds. So we didn't get the encounter. It seems to be showing tunes, singing show tunes. Dive the sparkle rock for treasure. Steer around cautiously. We're definitely going to dive. The wise asteroid tells you about a shortcut through the giggly. We already did that. Okay. Stick to normal, boring space lens. Okay. We got the battle. We got the battle. Oh no, it's so slow. Okay, that's all right. We're gonna make our way over there. We gotta move. We gotta move. I'm gonna use both buttons here to get over there. We're gonna crush them though. Okay, it moves so slow. So slow. So obviously not fun. This slow moving is not fun. Oh, and then we got that music playing in the background finally. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna jump on him. Ah! Okay, we got him. Look at that. Look at that. If we can jump up 2 spaces. Okay, we did it. But what happened? Oh, it's success. Your blue team's victory cry echoes through the cosmic void like a beautiful space whale song. So that's cool, but I don't like that embedded message. Like it needs to be on screen. But let's see what happens here. Okay, we got sent back. So there's a few changes we can make here, and this is what I would immediately do. This is getting better. Let's not make the pop-up at the end of a battle be the prompt, system prompt. That looks weird. Let's make it an in-game modal. Also, moving to the enemy was super slow. What other recommendations do you have for gameplay? Should we make it a silly shooting game so it's faster paced? Let's see, similar to the vampire survivor types. Remember, just fun annihilation. Okay, what else? Let's also make the space boat ship sideways instead of facing the player. That way it looks like it's moving on the waves to the right. Okay. And what do I mean by that? You can see here, like, you know, I think we already talked about this. I'm going to take a screenshot here too. That way it knows exactly what I'm talking about. And what else can we do? I think that's a good start. As long as that mini game's fun, as long as these questions are fun, let's also move the ship maybe off the screen or do some kind of animation once you answer a question. And if you end up dying, let's explode all these ship parts to sink into the ocean. So this is the final iteration I'll make for this video. But I just want to show you what we're capable of doing here, right? Like how you are capable of running in here, chatting with AI, using your knowledge of design, of games, of what you've experienced, and just coming up with an idea and then getting it out there and launching. Look, we finally got space music again. I did download one of those. Let's do that while this is doing this. So let's look at public sounds background. So there's nothing there. Let me find the background here. All right, let me find this music. I'm gonna call this background. I'm gonna actually just drag and drop this music right into here, overwrite, and that'll overwrite that file. So super easy to do that. If you get music, just name it, whatever is here. You can see in the sound, it says you've got background, you've got hit.mp3, you've got success.mp3. You can find those in here, even noises, right? Success, success noise. I might be on music, sound effects. See, there's a sound effects button here, music noise, success noise and sound effects. I probably can get rid of noise there and just say success. Success, game, even retro. Let's get a retro sound. Let's see what this is. That's pretty cool. That's good enough for me, right? Sometimes you just got to say good enough. And then let's change this to success. .mp3. I'm a big believer in great sound and music too. Hit, I don't know what hit is. We could actually, so this is the server. You could go up here and say, what is hit.mp3? It looks like it's in sounds. Maybe it's not even in anything else. Anyways, let's go back to the agent. Okay, we've got the purple text. I've completed all your requests for improvements. Ship now faces sideways. Battle movement speed increased significantly, 8 times faster. Still might not be too fast. In-game modal for victory. Fix missing story prompts that were causing errors. Add ship explosion effect. And I think we could explore a few directions. Vampire survival style. Okay, so it didn't do this yet. Fast pace with auto-attacking minions. Bullet hell. Player-controlled ship dodging particles of minions fight. Deploy minions strategically to defend against waves. Resource manager connects space churros fuel while managing crew. Interesting. What if we did a bullet hell where you also need to collect the space churros for a period of time? That sounds fun. Let's see what that does, right? And sometimes you may not even want to test those changes yet. Maybe you want to respond to this and say, yeah, go create something new for me before I test these changes. We could try. Okay, it's going to refresh on us. So it's going to think for a bit. Let's go back and see if we can find a hit sound. Whoosh hit. You can also look at the times here, like 6 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. We want like a 2 second. Like here's an orchestra. I mean, that's pretty good, but that's gonna be really annoying when it's like bing, bing, bing. It's gonna be annoying, right? What about this hit? That's a good one. But it's got such a long tail, 3 seconds. Like I wish it wasn't so long. Let's put it in. We'll put it in and see what it does. Okay, Galaxy Mischief. I like the sound of that. So I got that hit. Let's rename it to hit.mp3. Let's drag it into our sounds, overwrite the file. That's all the sounds that I see in here, honestly. There's textures, asphalt, grass, sand. This is interesting. I didn't expect it to do any of this. Whenever those textures came from, geometries. There's a heart. There's fonts. I don't know. Interesting. Let's see where we're at with the agent here. It looks like it's trying to do some things. Player movement, updated UI, bullet hell rendering system, and made a checkpoint. So what are these checkpoints? You can notice that it always does this kind of checkpoint. This is akin to you saving your files, right? If you've ever used GitHub or SourceTree, you can return to this checkpoint. So let's say we're doing this bullet hell style of game, right? And let's say it's like awful. Like we get into it, it breaks the game. The whole Orion's Happy Trail is just horrendous. We could say, you know what? I want to roll back to this. I want to see what changes were made originally. And I just want to roll back to like a working version. If you saw some of my previous videos, you saw that I had that problem with that game Whimsical on AI Game Dev Academy. I can even show you right now, right? If we go to Whimsical, let's scoot over. This one, you'll see that it just doesn't do anything, right? And that's because I didn't have the checkpoint set up. This was built like pre-checkpoints from Replit. And so the game, I did some changes to the game and it just broke everything and I haven't been able to fix it since then. I should recreate it and I will. But let's go down, let's see where we're at. I've implemented the bullet hell. So for some reason it's not like a purple thing here, but let's see. Let's start the voyage and see what happens. Okay, the ship's sideways. I don't know if this is, I mean, it's got like this interesting effect on the top. Like, is this going sideways? I don't know what's happening here. But you can take a screenshot and tell the AI like, hey, this is what I see. I don't know what you expected to see. This is what I see. All right, your ship drips through the cosmic void near Orion's belt. 3 glowing space churros. Okay, we got this. Attempt to catch them. And we died. So there wasn't an explosion of the ship. Okay, your radio picks up a mysterious signal repeating YOLO in 17 different languages. It's either a party invitation or a warning. YOLO toward the signal at maximum warp. You discover a drifting karaoke satellite playing My Heart Will Go on repeat. A lonely AI inside is crying digital tears. Destroy it before it ruins your playlist. You accidentally deleted your own consciousness while trying to destroy the satellite. Your last thought was the chorus of Celine Dion. That's pretty bad. Okay. Sing a duet to cheer up the AI. Okay, look, we're fighting. Oh my goodness. It's so slow. What is happening? It's so slow. How do I move? Maybe I can get this. I got a churro. Okay, I got a churro. Okay. Oh, I'll get this churro. I don't know how many I'm going to get. I need to get 10. It's so slow. Why is it moving so slow? Oh my goodness. I mean, this is not bad. Even the slowness, it's like frustrating, but it's not like terrible. At least I'm able to avoid being damaged. Oh, he hit me, hit me. Can I even get to 10? Like, this is amazing how if it was faster, I think it'd be more fun, but I can't believe I haven't died yet from these guys. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, I got one more. I need one more churro. This one, this one, this one. Oh no, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, this one, this one, this one. We got it. We got it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we did that. Congrats on winning. Completely unnecessary battle. Good thing you didn't die. I love it. Listen, this is awesome. You get the idea now how to create a game. You get the idea of the iterations you go through just to make things fun and interesting. I think we had a good time. And I actually might spend more time on this, making sure it's a fun experience. I think we could improve this. But overall, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you got encouragement to just get in and try something, get in and build something, have a good time. If you've got kids or family, teach your kids how to do this so they learn how to explore and iterate and communicate with AI, because it's not going away, just like the calculator is not going away. I loved building this. I hope you did too. Leave a comment below for the next feature you would add to this game. I'd love to hear what you would add to this game to make it more fun. And I hope I'll see you next time for the next game that we make. See you later.